Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Deep Gripping Reality Podcast Live, brought to you by marketingstrategy.com. That's marketingstrategy.com. Listen, I'm wearing these shades not only because the light is excessively bright, which it is, but good lighting, you suffer for your craft. No, I'm wearing sunglasses because I have a question for you. Would you spend $299 on Ray-Bans? Well, okay, let's be fair. Ray-Ban Wayfair, the most popular of the types of Ray-Ban. Would you spend $200 on that? No? How about $299? No? Hey, it's Dominica. Listen, you're going to love this. I'm glad you tuned in when you did. If you say yes, I would spend $299 on Ray-Bans, then you're in luck because now you can get Ray-Ban stories. Facebook partnered with Ray-Ban, and they now have a product out that you can buy at Ray-Ban's website. Might be on Amazon, I'm not sure. It's in most parts of the world, where you can buy sunglasses that are $299. That's the starting price. They have 3 different styles, and they have 2 cameras, one here and one here. They also have a microphone built in, and they also have a little speaker built in. And the idea is there's a little button, and you can click on it, and when you do, if you hold it, it will start recording. The 2 cameras are 5 megapixel cameras. You can't even tell that they're there. When you start recording, there's a little light that goes on that indicates that you're recording. And from what I understand, the recordings are usually about 30 seconds, but it may be possible to go longer. And it'll record the audio, the video. Basically, it's like having a GoPro built into your sunglasses. You can tap it quickly to take pictures, or you can, like I said, just go literally do video. So it can record up to, I think it's 50 videos or 200 pictures. If you tap it quickly, it'll take a picture of whatever it is you're looking at. But you can also use them to take calls. It connects Bluetooth to your phone. You can use them to take calls. You can use it to listen to your favorite podcast, listen to music, and it stores them all remotely, the pictures and the video, in your camera, in your sunglasses. So these Ray-Ban stories are basically smart glasses that are wearable. Now, some of you might recall that Snapchat came out a while back and had offered a similar product. They looked a little goofy, but it was obvious that you were recording. And those of you who are really old might remember Google Glass. Well, the reason that Google Glass failed was because Google Glass was ugly. And so I think the hope here is that since it's more stylish, you might actually get a chance to wear them, and you might actually like them. And so the crazy part is, by being able to go, you can't go live with these glasses. What it does is it stores them in the glasses, and then you can download them to a companion app. You can also use your voice. You could say, hey, Facebook. There's actually an app, like a thing that allows you to it's called the Facebook Assistant, but you can say, hey, Facebook, and then it pulls you into the Facebook app, and you can say, take a video or take a picture, and it'll do that. So it's coming one step closer to Tony Stark's Jarvis without quite being there. And what's incredible is you save these to your phone, to an app. You can then edit them and then upload them to either Facebook or to, you can upload them to either Facebook or to Instagram. But this is Facebook's first step. Now, in the announcement video, Zuckerberg actually said, we are a long ways away from AR, but we will be at a point in the near future where you'll be able to play chess with your grandmother across the country by wearing sunglasses. The idea is that they want to bring you into what's called the Metaverse. They want you to be able to put down your phone, stop staring at your phone, and be able to engage with technology while still being present. And, when you first install the app and when you first get the glasses, they say, please don't drive with these or use these while you're driving. But it is very easy to see how, you can really engage with this technology and not even have people know you're doing it. So the Wall Street Journal got a pair of the glasses, and they did a short video. I think it was like 5 or 9 minutes or something. But they did a review video and basically said, they walked up to perfect strangers and said, hey, did you know I was recording you? And so it's almost like spy glasses. So they look just like regular Ray-Bans. Again, they're called Ray-Ban Stories. You can Google them and check them out yourself. But the cameras are so well hidden that you can't tell. And it's, there's a little light on the inside so that you can see that you're recording in case you forget, but there's also a light on the outside so that the other people are supposed to be able to see it. But if the lighting is weird, you can't really tell that somebody's recording you, and nobody even looks twice at it. And I think that's kind of part of the design intention. Now, here's where it gets kind of weird, because I live in a state where the law says that in order to record somebody in a conversation, only one of the people in the conversation needs to know it's being recorded, and that can be the person doing the recording. So you don't have to get consent to record other people in my state. So here in the United States, that means that each state is a little bit different with privacy laws. This could mean that there's all kinds of implications to this. Now, this isn't technology that's like super far in the future. You can go buy these glasses now. $299. By the way, hashtag not spawn. This is not sponsored by them. I wish that I had a pair so I could actually test them for you. I personally think that these are the future. These are bone conduction headphones, but that's a whole nother thing. But this is the step. This is the direction that it's going. This is AR stepping into the future. And they're incredibly wearable. So, the wearable technology being dead, that may not be true. In fact, I don't think it is. And I think that this is Zuckerberg's first step into this metaverse. He mentioned, I was on a podcast with Big Picture Business recently, the Big Picture Business podcast, actually this last Tuesday, a week ago. I was on their show and we talked pretty extensively about what the metaverse is and what that means for the future of social media and the future of interacting. And to take that one step further, the most popular game in the world, one of the most popular ones on YouTube, it's actually in the top 4 consistently, is a game that most people in America have never even heard about. And it's a game, I think it's called Free Fire. And Greta is the company that makes it. But Free Fire is a mobile only game. And it is optimized so that no matter how crappy your connection is, you can still play it and have the best possible user experience. So the reason that this game is so popular, it's very much like Fortnite. It's a big open, battle royale type thing, but a full experience on your cell phone. And the reason it's so popular, and it's climbing in popularity, it just dethroned Grand Theft Auto 5 and some other ones, is because it is a very inclusive network. It's designed for people, like, for example, in Brazil, where I think the average, they make $1 per hour is their average income in Brazil. So, of course, this game is incredibly popular in Brazil. It's popular in India, which, by the way, in the last 5 years went from 4% of their people having internet connection all the way up to 50% now have internet connection and are regular gamers. So, that is why a lot of these technologies get tested in other countries, get tested in India, for example. I'm always talking about how Facebook and Instagram love to test new features in India. Well, part of that is because if it can work there and be popular there, then they know it's going to be popular in the United States. And so it's all about designing an experience with the user in mind, with user ease in mind, with friendliness in mind. And I think that's where, to kind of tie it all together, that's where this Facebook, well, I said Facebook, so Ray-Ban Stories, the reason that I think that this was a smart play the way it was is because they partnered with something they knew was visually cool, visually iconic. It's been a part of pop culture for decades, if not like a century. So having a product be introduced into a market to do the things that are meant to be a little more inclusive, it's definitely a way to tap into different markets that you may not have been able to otherwise, or that people wouldn't have wanted to. So, when I started this by saying, would you spend $299 on a pair of Ray-Bans? Your initial reaction might have been, nah, not really. But the reality is you spend more than that on your phone, right? And these aren't meant to completely replace your phone, but you can take and place phone calls using it. You can do videos using it. You can listen to podcasts using it. So it removes that need to pull your hand out. How many family events have you been to where everybody's looking down at their phone? How many times have you been watching a movie together on the couch, and next thing you know, you find that you look around the room and everybody's sitting there staring at their phone, right? Well, this is meant to kind of remove that. And if they have transitional lenses, which is where everything is clear, and then when you step out in the sun, it becomes like this, tinted, then it's going to be even more popular. So, this is a step. I think the future is probably going to be AR, where you have either some kind of technology projected onto mini screens, essentially, where you can still see through and you can kind of see essentially what look like holograms that you could interact with using the 5 megapixel cameras, maybe more than at that point. That's the next step. I think that it's going to be pretty huge. Or it'll project it back into your eyeballs like Magic Leap did a few years ago. Their technology was really cutting edge. They got hit hard by COVID, so they're still around. I expect them to make a big comeback. But that's where the future's headed. And I bring this up because as a marketer, my thought is almost always on how can this help businesses? Well, if I were a bigger company and I wanted to take advantage of this, I might, and I find out that this AR technology is there, I'd be keeping an eye on that. I might say, okay, what would it take to, if it becomes a point where people can opt into seeing ads in real life, what would it take to have a virtual billboard where the only way you can see it is if you're wearing those shades? And if you look up there, there's your thing. Now, where that would come in handy is a concert, for example. So on the Big Picture Business podcast, when I was a guest last week, we talked about that. And I said it would be smart. So Ariana Grande, for example, some other artists have already done things in Fortnite where they did a full concert in a virtual room for their audience for free, okay? The smartest play possible would be to have a virtual billboard there, sitting there behind it, because then when you associate that experience, and that's what the metaverse is going to be all about, is experiences, right? When you associate that experience, I saw Ariana Grande live. Well, did you? Not really, but kind of, because you got an exclusive opportunity. You didn't miss out on that. But when you think about that, and if just very subtly in the background, not all up in your face, not a big deal, there was a billboard of some brand, you would remember that brand. It would be subconsciously tied to that experience, that positive experience. And heck, even you might even think that was the person that was hosting it or that was sponsoring it, not just sponsoring it, but like was part of the reason it was able to happen. So look for ways to advertise virtually. That is the future. That is the next step. That is the evolution of advertising and marketing digitally. Is that this metaverse thing is not going to be a fad. It's going to grow. It may not grow super fast, but when it does and it takes off, we're talking massive. Now, is this going to be the Matrix? No. Are the machines taking over? No. But it's pretty darn close. It's about having personal experiences one-on-one and enjoying spending time with other people virtually. Sitting down next to somebody, looking over at them, and they're right there. Facebook's other technology, which uses the Oculus, I think it's called Meeting Room or something like that. I don't remember, but Workspace, something. They actually already have that. So it's definitely worth looking into. It's definitely worth keeping your eye open for. Very, very important if you are in the virtual space at all. Huge for podcasters. So, if I was a podcaster, I might be reaching out to Ray-Ban. I am a podcaster, but they're not going to listen to me because I don't have a huge podcast. If I was a bigger podcaster and I wanted to get some really good ad space, I might be reaching out to Ray-Ban and seeing if they would like to have you, like to be sponsored on your show. It's a great way to get found. And Facebook Podcast has recently been announced. So there's a lot of this technology that is very immersive and very inclusive, and it's because I think that as society as a whole globally, we've been so divided, it's been so divisive that people are looking for a sense of community. They're looking for inclusion. They're looking for an opportunity to spend time with other human beings. And in today's technologically advanced world and where technology is going, Facebook is a company that's recognized that. Now, they're not the only company, but they have in a very big way recognized that this is the way it's going, and they're going all in on it. And I believe that no matter what your business is, you should be paying attention to. So that's all I've got for you today, folks. I hope you found this informative. If you did, do me a favor, not only leave a like, but leave a comment about it or share it with somebody. If you really enjoyed this, add me to your, once you followed me, add me to your close friends list so you never miss anything, because that's like a super subscribe on Instagram, or so I've heard. Otherwise, you can find my show at anchor.fm/TDGR. You can find me on any of the social platforms at TDGR Podcast. And of course, my website is amarketingstrategy.com. And I will tell you this, if you are a small business, if you're trying to grow a business, I've got some amazing resources on marketingstrategy.com/resources. Make sure you check it out because there are all kinds of free stuff in there and some amazing next level paid stuff if you really want to take your business game to the next level on social media. So thank you very much for your time. And until next time, dig deep, my friends.